Use throwing knives. The art of throwing knives, just like any other kind of art out there, is a discipline that requires determination and the foresight to learn from your mistakes as quickly as you can. To be totally honest, there is not much motivation to take up throwing knives, what with all the other choices available to pursue for the average person. But that does not mean that there are only a handful of knife throwers out there. Plenty of people, including those in the army, are taught to throw knives in order to help survive the harsh conditions of a living battlefield. The qualities that can come with mastering such an art is also something that shouldn't be overlooked, as you gain the confidence to try new and interesting things, armed with the mindset that you can master anything you put your all into. But still, the most obvious benefit of learning how to use throwing knives is simply that learning to be able to effectively use a throwing knife. You never know what can happen after all, and a throwing knife could make a difference. So if you are interested in how the professional knife throwers do it, this article will give some tips and advice you can follow to taking advantage of a unique discipline. Here are some guidelines to remember when it comes to the use of throwing knives. It is quite obvious that the art of throwing knives is very, very dangerous. You need to seek the help of a professional if you wish to learn, and also so the professional can make sure that you do not hurt yourself, or anyone else. After all, you cannot throw just any random knife. There are knives out there created specifically to be thrown, and most of these are not sharp, simply pointed. The posture and tips to throwing a knife are as follows. When it comes to accurately using a throwing knife, your shoulder must be still and your wrist absolutely straight. This can take some getting used to, but this is important because if you bend your wrist in any way it can greatly affect the trajectory of your knife. Also remember to hold the throwing knife from its pointed side, always. Following through with the throw will also help your throwing knife remain accurate. Only practice on inanimate and relatively safe objects, and practice often. You do not want your knife bouncing off your intended target, otherwise you may hit something, or worse, someone, which you did not intend to hit. So as much as possible, choose and use targets that are soft enough for your throwing knife to pierce but firm enough that it can take the blow. Last but not least, practice makes perfect. In the art of throwing knives, you need to keep throwing and throwing, even when it seems like you are not getting better, but be sure to rest. Again, please keep in mind that you need the help of a professional if you are going to learn how to throw knives properly and safely. It is not impossible to learn on your own, but there are plenty of ways you can hurt yourself, and it is better to be safe than sorry.